Hi there friends, welcome back. Now 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by oceans, right? So oceans can be used as a big source of energy, right? So we are going to see how energy can be obtained from oceans. So let us see now how we can use oceans or water energy to obtain energy. So first type of ocean energy is using the tides, right? So tidal energy we'll talk of. See, gravitational pull of the moon on the spinning earth produces tides in the ocean, right? लहर बोलते हैं भरती और ओट, high tide and low tide. So this phenomenon is called high and low tides, and the difference in sea levels gives us tidal energy. So how we can get tidal energy? It is harnessed, means got by constructing a dam across a narrow opening to the sea, and a turbine fixed at the opening of the dam converts tidal energy into electricity. I'll explain this by a diagram. You see, this is a barrage, a small inlet, right? And we have a basin, right? A lake, you can say. And these are the sluice gates. Now, this situation is of low tide. Yeah, this is of low tide situation. During high tide situation, the water will now come to this level. See, right? Water comes in this level, and at that time the barrage is lifted. Right? These gates are lifted up, and so water is allowed to enter into this basin, and the water fills up to this high tide level. This level, the water fills up to this level. Now the sluice gates are lifted up, right? So what happens now? See, in high tide this happens. Now when the tide is low, means the water has gone down, the sea level which was up here now has come to this level. So there's a difference now, right? This difference up here, it's still at height. Up here the water is still at the height. So you can see low tide due to low tide the water level has gone down up here in the sea, and in our basin the water is at a height, it is full. So this big difference is there, right, between the low water mark and high water mark. Now the barrage are lifted, right? This barrage is lifted, and now water is allowed to flow out, right, through this barrage, through opening, right, and water comes out into the sea. And when the water comes out, we can put turbines here, right? Our turbine is up here, and this flowing water which is coming out with force because of this potential difference. See, this potential difference is created, and so this turbine now is rotated, and we get electricity. So this can be done twice, 2 times a day. Whenever a high tide starts coming, the gates are open, water is filled inside, then the gates are closed. When the low tide comes, whenever the tide resides, the low tide comes, the potential difference is created, the gates are open, water is pushed out, a turbine moves, gets electricity. Twice a day, at high tide, low tide, we can, in high tide, we fill the barrage, and in low tide, we generate electricity. Okay, so this is how we can use tidal energy, right, by using the tides, high tide and low tide. The second is getting energy from the wave itself. So when the wind passes on the water surface, it leads to pressure difference between the upper and the bottom levels, right? Upper and bottom level of water, which results in the generation of waves, right? Not bottom wind, but upper and bottom level of water, or not, we can say level, we can say layers of water, and which results in generation of waves. This wave energy can be again harnessed, means can be used to power electric generator. Something like this, same thing. See, the incoming waves, the waves which are coming inside, they are made to enter this chamber, see, right? And we have a turbine generator up here, and this waves will, up and down motion of the waves will move the turbine, and we can generate electricity, right? So air is forced back and forth through the turbine, and we can get, there are different ways of doing this, right? This is a very simple diagram of how electricity is generated by waves, but we can use the wave motion, the energy of the waves to move the turbine, right? Simple, but simple thing is that whenever any movement is there, there is mechanical energy. Anything can move only because of mechanical energy, kinetic energy, that's mechanical energy. And this movement can be used to move the turbine, and when the turbine moves, electricity is generated. So a wave is nothing but a motion. So the motion of wave can also be used. Now another source of energy is called ocean thermal energy. It is also called ocean thermal energy conversion. C stands for conversion. So ocean thermal energy conversion, right? So they are called OTEC plant. A power plant generating energy from ocean thermal energy. Thermal means heat. Thermal means heat. The water at the surface of the sea or ocean is heated by the sun, while the water in the deeper section is relatively cold. So there is a difference in temperature between the different layers of the sea water. So these plants can operate if the temperature difference between the water at the surface and water at depth up to 2 kilometers. See, surface water and 2 kilometer deep water, there is a difference of 20 Kelvin or 20 degrees Celsius or more. So ocean thermal energy conversion plants will exploit this difference in the temperature, and the warm surface water is used to boil a volatile liquid like ammonia. The vapor of this liquid of ammonia are then used to run the turbine of the generator, and the cold water from the depth of the ocean is pumped up and condensed vapor again to liquid. See, something like this. There's a difference, right? There's a difference in the sea layer, right? So what happens is that the warm sea water is used. It will convert the ammonia into vapor. This ammonia vapor, ammonia is NH3. Ammonia vapor, ammonia gas will now come with more pressure to the turbine, and it will run the turbine, generate electricity, and then this ammonia gas is now passed to the condenser again, and cold seawater is from the depth is brought up, and this cold seawater will convert the ammonia again into the ammonia vapor. It will convert into ammonia liquid, right? And again it will pass to ammonia pump and back to the whole thing. So the whole thing circulates, right? This is one way of generating electricity. Another way of generating electricity would be something, I'll need some space. Yeah, let us say the upper surface of the ocean. Let's take, this is the entire cross section of the ocean. The upper part of the ocean is warm, right? This part of the ocean is relatively warm. This part of the ocean is relatively cool. So at 2 kilometer depth, there's this temperature difference, right? If we put turbines at this depth also, because of the warm and cold water, right, water is very up here, there will be a lot of movement of water. There will be a lot of movement of water up here. It is a bit relatively unstable area because warm water is mixing with cold water, and water up here is getting a lot of energy transfers are occurring up here, and the turbine can now move. This is also one way of getting ocean thermal energy, but this is a relatively easier way, getting warm water from the surface and cold water from the depth of 2 kilometer and deep. Okay, so this is about tidal energy or ocean energy. Now let us do one topic in this video called geothermal energy. Geo means earth surface, heat, thermal is heat. So geo means earth, thermal means heat. So geothermal energy is the energy which is obtained from the heat inside the earth, inside the earth. Sometimes molten rocks formed in the deeper hot region of Earth's crust are pushed upward and they are trapped in certain regions called hot spots. Actually, molten rock, you can say, appear vapors, right? And when underground water comes in contact, steam is generated. See, right? In these hot spots where molten rocks are there in the molten form only, not vapor form, sorry, in the molten form, when they come in contact with water, steam is generated, and that steam can be used to power turbines. So hot molten rocks, or we can, in simple words, lava, mixing with water body will produce steam, and steam has more energy. It can be used to convert run the turbine, move the turbine, and generate electricity. This is a natural spring. This is a spring, or we can say it's a hot water spring. Such springs are very common in the Yellowstone National Park in USA, right? In India also at some places we have these hot water springs, but this picture is of a geyser called Old Faithful. Right? This is a geyser. Geyser is this spring which is thrown out, right, every few hours. Right? This is a Old Faithful, this geyser, and you can see the energy, right, coming out of the earth's surface. So using this energy, we can convert the hot water from the interior of the earth, where it will generate steam, and the steam will run the turbine, generate electricity, and then again the steam, the hot water, can be passed down to a cooling tower, and again to the injection well, the water is again thrown back into the ground. So groundwater again, hot groundwater giving energy, cooling down, and cool water being sent back to the underground. And again this water body, because it is in contact with the lava rocks, right, it is in contact with the lava rocks at the bottom, this cool water again will heat up, and again this whole thing will go on, and we can get energy 24/7 by 365, right? 24/7, 365 days a year. This geothermal energy can be obtained from the earth's crust, but this is not obtained everywhere. Only where such things are there, right, we can obtain geothermal energy. Okay, now one more topic remains, is about nuclear energy, and a modern source of energy, nuclear energy, fission and fusion. That will finish off in the next video. So bye friends, meet you then.